What is going on, Jeff fans? Matt O'Leary back with another video on this Saturday morning. Wanted to talk about something quickly here today on why I think it's important that Aaron Glenn is already making a pretty big change from the Robert Saleh era. So this week in Indianapolis is the NFL Combine. While the Combine results from 40-yard dash and bench press and some of that stuff can be a little bit overrated, and maybe at times we put too much stock into the results of the NFL Combine. Something I think is not overrated that happens during Combine week is when teams meet with draft prospects that your team is interested in drafting. That is very different than going into the NFL Combine and being like, oh, well, this guy ran a 4.5 40 and we can't possibly take him because we needed to run a 4.45. And the 5 tenths of a second or whatever is making that big of a difference for you. That stuff is what I'm talking about as being a little bit overrated. But what's not is getting in a room with a player and not putting him through the ringer, but just talking with him and seeing what he's all about as a player and how smart is he. For the quarterbacks, have him draw up plays, something that we saw on the Giants offseason Hard Knocks last year is when they met with the quarterbacks, the kind of questions they were asking them and the kind of scenarios they were putting them through. I'm not saying only with quarterbacks, but with every single position. You want to see what these guys are about, and if they meet your same or align with your same ideologies in how you're trying to build your team and what kind of players you're looking for in particular. Something that bothered me during the Robert Saleh era is that he would never go to the NFL Combine. I don't know why. Now, there's some coaches around the league that don't end up going. And honestly, the ones who don't usually have a little bit more cachet on proving that they are a good NFL head coach and they come from really good organizations and good teams. So they get a little bit of a pass. Robert Saleh in his second and third year as a head coach was not getting a pass. He didn't prove anything to be okay, yeah, Robert Saleh doesn't have to be there at the Combine. They don't have to meet with draft prospects and talk to people. And I do think it's important that these teams get different perspectives from the staff. You don't want it to just be, Darren Muji and his crew speaking with these prospects and getting the one side of things. You want the head coach's opinion because he's going to be the one coaching them up, along with the different positional coaches and, coordinators as well. So I love that Aaron Glenn is going there this week. I do think it makes a very big difference. And it's something, while I think I was not easier, but I gave Robert Saleh the benefit of the doubt a little bit more than some other people during his tenure. But something I was very critical of him on was not going to these things. And Aaron Glenn is going this year, and I think that's important. The difference between Glenn and Saleh is I think Glenn is going to have significantly more say in the roster than what Robert Saleh did, and that's a big reason why he's going to be there. But also some good news too. Darren Muji and Aaron Glenn will be speaking on Tuesday of this week. So we're just a few days away from hearing both Aaron Glenn and Darren Muji speak. I'm sure we'll get Aaron Rodgers questions, but I'm also interested in hearing their press conferences and finding out what they're looking for in this offseason. So while we're on the topic of the Combine, and that obviously means the lead up to the NFL draft. In the NFL draft, the Jets have 8 selections. Their round 1 pick is pick 7. Round 2 is pick 42. They have a 3rd round pick, a 4th round pick, 2 5ths, and 2 6ths. They do not have a pick in the 7th round. And some positions of need in no particular order that the Jets have to fill out in both free agency and the NFL draft is quarterback, wide receiver, tight end, probably need multiple, a right tackle, interior defensive line, safety, they need 2 of them, a linebacker, a cornerback 2, and last but certainly not least, a kicker. Are you going to be able to fill each one of these holes in free agency and the draft adequately? In year 1, probably not a reasonable bet, but I think especially on the defensive side of the ball, with Aaron Glenn's background, he's going to have to coach up some of these guys, especially in the secondary. And you hope that you get that on the offensive side of the ball for a change, because for so long, the Jets' offensive coaching staff was really lacking, where, give Robert Saleh credit, under his watch, they were able to get a lot out of guys on the defensive side of the ball who were either late round draft picks or UDFAs or waiver wire finds, and they came in and were very productive for them. The Jets are going to need to get that kind of value for some players on both sides of the football, most likely here. So we'll see what Aaron Glenn and Darren Muji mention in their press conferences. It'll be the first time outside of the opening press conference that we hear them speak. So I'm interested in the questions they get, what kind of answers they're looking for. And once again, just want to reiterate as we're winding down in this video, how important I think it is for Aaron Glenn and an NFL head coach, especially a rookie NFL head coach, to be there at the combine, go through this process, talk to the different players that the Jets are interested in taking, and find out what these guys are really all about. I'm excited for this. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. I'm Matt O'Leary. Subscribe if you're new to the channel, and I'll catch you next time.